Hello and welcome back. We've got another episode of Backstage Pass here. Welcome, Burman.
Thanks. Good to be back.
Today we're going to pull back the curtain on a piece of your work.
Yeah, it's just
What do we got here?
small little, a short little series of four, a little campaign, so to speak. I think back from my agency days, we always realized that a one-off commercial is great, but when you do like a campaign, it's always a little stronger. And yeah, so for something like this, I decided to go with campaign, even though I didn't really have much to work with. But kind of things just kind of fell into place. It was cool. The campaign that I'm showing right now is for Catomelon, a boutique cat shop that sells, not cat shop, but a shop that sells cat-related stuff. Not for the cats, but for the people who are fans of cats or owners and everything. We've got cushion covers, we got cups, we got coasters, we got pins, all with cat designs on it, and that's what Catomelon was all about. There was a
This is your own business, right? This is a side business you have with your future wife.
I want to give her a second chance. After all, she's my future wife.
My future wife, yeah, and depending on when you watch it, it could be my wife already, and some friends as well. It's just sort of a little side thing that we have a little fun with, and I could practice, producing cute videos for them, practice for myself.
Okay, so you did how many videos in this campaign?
The campaign had 4 videos.
And what were you targeting?
I was targeting the local audience here in Toronto because at that time we had a market that was coming up over the weekend, and I just wanted to do something just to drive people, something with a call to action to drive people to the market.
And how did you promote these? Where did you put them?
This was primarily on Facebook. The Catomelon has its own Facebook page, so if those are interested, check it out. It was primarily played on that. We had it on YouTube as well, but YouTube was just a secondary thing since YouTube is more international, less targeted.
Instagram?
We had Instagram as well. These were short little videos. They're all about, I believe, about 20 to 25 seconds long. So perfect for Instagram as well.
I think that's where I saw them and they worked. I thought they worked great.
Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and play one then?
Yeah, sure. I'll play the cups one. So as you can see, it's very, very raw.
Very raw, but very cute. And like, when I first saw these, I was like, yeah, like that's spot on for branding. Like it's simple, but it's super on brand. That you're cute and funny and kind of a little charming there.
Yeah.
I thought the stop motion worked really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that's high end. I recognize that the product and everything is not like a premium product. It's a lot of fun. It's for kids and everything. So, and then when I'm thinking of kids, I'm thinking like, paper mache, cut and paste, this and that. So maybe stop motion. It's also because, I'm not a cinematographer myself. I'm not a real camera operator. So I had limitations. I also had a camera that I couldn't control the the color temperature and stuff like that. So every time I took a photo, it just kept on jumping back and forth. So I'm like, okay, how do I play around with it? How do I kind of use it to my advantage? And I figured, okay, well, if I do something that's purposely supposed to be raw, then I can get away with all this. So that's what I did. For
sure.
Yeah.
It looks great. So you used what camera did you use?
I for this one, I believe I just used like a Lumix GX7 or something like that. So it's a micro four third camera. Had a nice little pancake lens to it. But I just couldn't. I didn't know how to use the camera myself, so I wasn't able to like control the lights, the color temperature or the aperture and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Well, some cameras they don't, like I know my Sony Nex, some cameras like that, they don't allow you to manually control the exposure.
Yeah.
It's very weird, very odd. That was a very nice, very expensive camera, but I couldn't, it would just auto expose all the time.
Okay, so it's not just me not knowing my camera.
Yeah,
okay.
no.
Okay. Yeah, so, and then when I started doing it, I'm like, I think the first one I did out of the lot, and I mean, for those who are interested, you can check out the rest of them. I think I started with the cups, and then when I played around with it, I'm like, you know what? That's kind of cool. It wasn't so hard. It was just taking photos. I actually didn't shoot video. I did photos.
Right.
Yeah, I just took a whole bunch of photos, and I threw it on into FCPX, and it kind of, stitched it together, and there you go, like stop motion, just like that. like the real stop motion. Some people do video and then they put a stop motion effect. I actually did stop motion with this one with
Wow.
photos. Yeah. Yeah.
And how many frames did you have to take then? How many photos did you have to use for that?
For like say 25 seconds worth, I think,
Yeah.
oh man, I think for each second I had about 3 photos each. So you take, 26. So I had probably anywhere between 75 to 100 photos for each one. So I figured each second you can't have like 1 second a photo, it would be too slow. So I wanted like each second have like, maybe 3 to 4 photos, so it kind of jumps around for each second to
Yeah.
make it more robust. Yeah. But it turned out easy. So I'm like, okay, well, the cups one's kind of cool. It worked. So maybe I'll just keep on shooting. And I figured, okay, some of our best sellers were the pins, the cushions, the cups, and also the coaster. So I'm like, okay, why not just play around with this and see where it goes? Yeah. And
That's great.
there's no script or anything. It's just showcasing the product. And that's all it was. Cute. People love, like, especially the audience, these cat lovers. Obviously, what they like is cute. And the product
Right.
is cute, so I'm like, okay, let's just play on the cute. That's all it was. And then call to action at the end. There you go.
You didn't mess around. It just totally focused on the product. It was all about the product. There
Absolutely.
was no distraction of anything else, no other story, nothing. Just here's the product. Yeah.
Here's the product. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun making these things.
And I got to think they must have been a pretty good hit on Instagram or something. How did they? What was the response like?
I think the response was well. I mean, unfortunately, when we first started, this was like right at the beginning of when Catomelon came into existence. So there wasn't a lot of followers, but even then, the ones that we had, all of them liked it. I think Facebook also, early beginnings, but the reaction was a lot of awes and that's so cute,
Yeah.
this and that and everything. So I think it did its job, especially for a company that was so young at that time. For me, it gave me some experience in learning how to play around with what I've got. And I think, pushing
Yeah.
yourself to look for solutions based on your situation, that's what makes a good producer, finding solutions immediately, just like that.
Because you didn't sit there and go, oh, I got to have a really great camera to do this, and I've got to wait until I've got this, and I've got to wait until I've got that. No, you just said, what have I got?
Yep.
What can I do?
Absolutely. And, I kept on, it's good that you point this out because I kept on reminding myself, like, don't overthink it. Sometimes when you start thinking too much into it, you find all these barriers, and next you know, you don't do it, and you just give yourself excuse, oh, I'm too busy. Maybe the next campaign, next market will do something. So I kind of just threw myself into it and just like, okay, don't worry about the limitations. Just work with what you got. And it was a perfect thing because, it wasn't like a client where it's paying for money. It was my own little thing. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Perfect way to experiment, on your own stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely. Because what I like about these spots is that really they look like anybody could make them. They look very accessible. A lot of times we see people making YouTube's videos or whatever. Like it could have been you just sitting there with the pen or the pin, right? Or the cushion, and you're on your webcam and you're just saying, okay, well, I got this cushion here. Isn't it cute? Isn't it cute? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. But like that's not really as powerful as these little stop motion hero spots that you've made with the product.
Yeah. I want it to be entertaining. So even if people are not interested in a product, at least they were entertained and they thought it was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because it's so visual and you're close up, it works great on people's phones.
Yeah. And you know what the thing is, like you said, it's visually colorful. I'm fortunate that the product itself was very cute and colorful and stuff like that. So if I was doing it for another product, it may not necessarily work. So the concept worked with the product that I was featuring.
So many times when we're producing videos, sometimes there's just a natural fit that happens, and it just helps to have a win there.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
And I thought the duration was great too. Perfect for Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm scrolling. I'll give you 25 seconds to watch something cute like that. I'm allergic to cats, and I'll still watch it.
Yeah. I think it's true. At that time, I think Instagram was only accepting up to 30 seconds worth of video. Now it's 60 seconds. And even now, I think for certain, you don't have to use all 60 seconds. And I think some people try to. For something like this, it's short but sweet. That's all it is. If they like it, they'll play it again. They'll watch it again. That's all. Yeah.
How do you think How are you finding Instagram now? I know for our social media stuff, you handle the Instagram account, and you don't use a lot of other social media, but you're always on Instagram. How do you find it for people that are making video content?
Personally, I feel like oh, Instagram is an interesting thing where it seems like more and more people are gravitating to it because it's easy to use. It's short. Facebook, you have so many things going on, but Instagram, you just scroll down that one list and you see everything. And I think it works for certain things. I feel like for the video twin stuff, it's hit or miss, it depending on certain things. I think when you have original content like videos and stuff like that, people tend to gravitate towards it, especially when it's entertaining. So if you're like just showing an Instagram piece where it's 30 seconds and you're like, okay, and just giving a message, people may not, but if you make it entertaining, people will like it and stuff like that. So for Catomelon stuff, it works perfectly. And I just realized, recently they just pushed out a function where it will link to the product. So say if I didn't do it for this video because I've done it in the past, but I could link a still image, for example, let's say not video, but you could link a product, and you scroll over it, it'll show you the price, and when you click on it, it takes you to the site where you can buy it.
Is that like a brand new thing?
It's a brand new thing. It only happened a couple weeks ago. We just learned about it.
Because we've been having challenges here with like, okay, people like our post, but you can't get them over to where they need to be. You can't convert them into anything. That's the thing about Instagram for me. It was like, okay, it's really easy to get followers,
Right.
but I can't do anything with them.
Exactly, and I think they've realized or recognized that was a problem, and I think they fixed it in the past couple of weeks. They just did it. So
That's huge.
it's huge. Like for me, before it was like Catomelon will work. Something like video twins. It's great to have a presence, and hopefully people will just go search more about video twins because of Instagram.
Yeah.
But now I think we could actively use it a little more because it'll bring you to the site or bring you to.
We can direct them somewhere.
Exactly.
They can actually do something, because if we have a call to action, we can actually send them to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's another thing I like about your spots is that you don't really need to have the audio.
No.
The music adds something to it,
Yes.
but there's no voiceover, there's no messaging, and I can just watch it, and I'm still getting what you want me to get.
It's a very good point.
know?
Yeah, very good point. Yeah.
Yeah. And that for social media and on the mobile, when sometimes you're scrolling and the sound doesn't click yet, or it doesn't unless I hit it, I'm still getting your vision.
Yes.
Or what you need.
Very good point. A very good point. And I think sometimes when you do commercials and stuff like that, you have to keep that in mind because a lot of people, like you said, now are on their phones. And say if I'm in the subway, watching the video, I don't want to turn on the sound if I don't have headphones. So I'll just play and see it. So stuff like this just grabs my attention, whether there's audio or not. So you're absolutely right. That's something to keep in mind when you're creating stuff like this.
Great. So are you guys making more video for Catomelon then? Or?
We have a few more that's up there on the site and stuff like that. But recently, not so much. I think the summer is coming up, so we may start to do more things. I think every time we have new product, we try to do videos like this to showcase it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think more to come. More to come.
And total budget on this campaign?
Nothing. It was just my time, and that was it. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Another good thing it shows, like, don't forget to be creative when you're making these videos.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you didn't need a really expensive camera. You just use natural light and your own tabletop. And
yeah, I keep on telling
there
people.
You go.
I keep on telling people it's the concept that sells, not how much gear you use or the bells and whistles you add to it. As long as you have a good concept, it'll work out.
So Burman, then of course, I know these are just little stop motion videos, not a strong message, but you definitely do have a call to action on the end.
Yes.
Good to see that.
Yes, absolutely. I think when you have a video, any kind of video you have, always have a call to action or else you're wasting it, trying to drive people to do something after they watch it. And I go, oh, that's cute, on to the next video. So that's what
you had some really nice graphics there. Did you spend a lot of time doing those graphics?
No, I think I got very, very lucky with this one where I was just going through FCPX to see what kind of effects they have and stuff like that for their titles and stuff like that. Because like I said, I have no budget for this. This was just me going, hey, let's try something and let me see if I could learn how to use FCPX to its fullest. And I found this effect where you just throw it on, it makes the whole thing look like it's drawn out. And then I added the kind of handheld effect to make it a little more what you call it,
Yeah.
to match the stop motion itself. So I think I added just 2 effects to it, and there you go. You got this kind of really cool, colorful call to action at the end.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see stuff like that. I think that's inspiring for people to know that they don't need a lot of stuff and gear and tools to make something. Just can get along with your own creativity.
Absolutely.
Well, I hope you found this helpful, and if you have any questions for us on this or any other videos that we make or how we can help you, just let us know.
Yeah, we'd be happy to help, and thanks for tuning in.
You can check us out on our website, videotwins.com, and Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're out there.
We are.
All right.
All right.
We'll see you next time. Take care.
Thanks.